from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Trey McBride now to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. A shotgun snap for Smith. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run with a rookie. It's Boston Scott. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
To throw on second is Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. the gun, Watson. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Watson now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Again, it's Watson. He's got Smith here. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On second down, here's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6, and the Texans have taken the early lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. On the return, it's McBride. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try and at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run it here with Thompson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big-time play there for the Texans. 55 yards. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far.
Richmond.
They'll run with Scott. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Richmond.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's to the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Here's Scott. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get it to him running left. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. He may try and run for this. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And here come the Redskins now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Scott. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Fairbairn missed it. He pulled it left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
I said line 80! Yellow, yellow. Liz.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They'll run with Thompson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Airing one out for Crowder. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Single. I said line 80. 15, yeah.
Now Thompson. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
52. You guys got the line 80.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And his kick here is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And now out comes Houston. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
On 2nd down, Scott. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Reset. Two jet. Tiger.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And that's caught by Smith. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st down, it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Watson on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the red zone now, Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Jordan Thomas with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans will extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Riddled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go again with Scott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. To throw is Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Watson now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. Over the middle to Smith. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Into the Redskins. How did they do?
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They go play action here on 1st down. And Davis has it over the middle. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Hopkins. 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Tiger.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Smith. Looking long for his tight end Reed. And this will be caught at the 30. It's a big play there for the Redskins on 3rd down. 54 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Again, Smith. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Tyrann Mathieu knocks that one away. And when I'm evaluating guys in the game today, who has the best instincts, I'm not sure I put anyone ahead of him.
Really?
Yeah.
You put him up near the top?
I really do. The way that he plays, he almost doesn't have a position anymore. I don't care whether he's a safety, a corner, a nickel, a linebacker. He knows how to get around the football and make plays that affect the game.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And this is caught, Jeremy Maclin. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So that's one you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I could understand it, but it's almost like he heard a whistle or something that stopped his swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. The 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Texans will extend their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. On the return, it's McBride. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
It's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Christian Covington in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Tiger.
Off of play action, here's Smith. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Smith now looking to throw on second down. He'll drop it off to P-Ryan, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
Alert. Let's go.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. So give him the first down, 1st and goal after a pickup of 4, and the decision to go for it pays off. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They get it to him running left. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
On 3rd down, that's Thompson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll try the air now with Watson. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll keep it on the ground. Scott. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I,
A
though?
look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. He's going to let it fly. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Redskins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
We know it's tough enough to pick up 1st downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Now Smith. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.